Let's take a look at our Styles and Themes activity. It's a mock email display that displays a list of mail folders like Inbox, Starred, and Drafts with icons to the left. Right now, this UI looks pretty wonky. The spacing and text size isn't consistent, and you'll soon see that there's also a lot of redundancy in the layout XML file. So we'll want to add some styles to get rid of that redundancy and make this layout look cohesive and more readable. First, let's look at an existing style. All of our app's themes and styles are in the Resources Values folder in styles.xml. In styles.xml, you can already see our app theme and a style called Activity Label Style. This is actually applied to our list of activities on the main screen. And if you look in our Activity Main XML, you can see this style attribute applied to all of our text views. I wanted each of these items to look the same, and so they use the same style. In fact, I'm actually going to change the background color to be our primary light color in the styles.xml file. So let's go back to styles.xml. Right now, the background color is our primary color, and I'll change it to our primary light color. This should change the color of all the text views in the main activity. I'll also change the text color from white to black, so it shows up on our light background. Let's run our app and test if it worked. It did. All our views are now this nice light purple with black text, and I just had to change two things in our styles.xml file to change the style for all of these. Now, let's create a style of our own to add to our mail folder text in the style activity. I'll create a new style by adding another style tag and giving it a name. This is for our mail folder text, so I'll name this folder style and close the tag. Then, inside this style tag, we can add items to describe any style properties we want. I'll want to add items for any of the properties that all of these views have in common. So let's look at the Style Activity XML to see what those properties are. In our Style Activity XML, we can look at each text view and see what they have in common. It looks like the layout width and height are the same for each. And let's use our first view as a reference. There's some drawable padding and padding on the bottom and top of the view. There's also a text size and color. And I want these values to repeat for every view. So instead of typing out each one, I'm going to group all of these in one style and apply that style to each of these views. So using this first text view as a reference, let's add the properties we want to apply to all our text views as items in our new style. So let's go back to styles.xml. For each property, I'll open an item tag, and I'll set the value for the property. Let's start with the layout width and height properties, since those stay consistent as match parent and wrap content, respectively. The name of each item should match that property name in XML. For example, our first item will be named Android::layout width. Then inside this tag, we give the value, which is match parent. Our next one is named Android layout height, and that value is wrap content. I'll also add items for drawable padding equal to 8 dp, which is the spacing between the icon and the text. Then I'll add padding top and padding bottom, each 4 dp to space out the views. Finally, I'll add items for text size equal to 28 sp and text color equal to black. And all of these together define the folder style. Our next step is to apply this to those text views in our style activity layout. So back to our style activity layout file. I can apply a style to a view by writing style and then referring to the style we just made. I'll say @style and then give the name of our style folder style. And now I can delete the other properties here that are now defined in the style, like our text color and layout width and height. So let me delete those. After we apply this style, all that should be left in the text view is the text and icon properties that are unique to this view. This style will apply all the rest of the properties. So let's do this to all our text views. Now I've applied this style to all our text views and deleted the unnecessary properties. Now let's run our app and see how our style activity looks. When we click into our Styles and Themes activity, we can see that the text is consistent and it's nicely spaced from the icon since we added padding. And most importantly, adding our style has given each view a consistent look that we defined.